Yeah. What month is this? August?
Yeah.
I missed, yeah, we didn't have one last month. The August meeting of the Conway Historic District Commission. And start real quick with our roll call. I'm Steve Hurd, Chairman.
Emily Walter, Vice Chair. Liz Hamilton.
Margaret West.
Marie Kaysen.
Shelby Fagel.
Shane Lund.
All right. First thing we have on our agenda are the minutes from 2 months ago now. We had no meeting last month, and if everybody's had a chance to look at them, if you don't have any problems, we need to deal with them real quick.
I make a motion, we accept minutes from June 27, 2022.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, we've got a handful of items on our agenda, and the one couple of rules, house rules we have, when you come up to present your project, first thing we ask is we get your name and your actual physical address where you live. That's for the records. The city of Conway does that for all the commissions. Present your application, and I'll then call for anybody else to speak in favor of it, assuming you're speaking in favor of it, and anybody to speak in opposition, as we try to make everything fair. And when that's been settled, we'll bring it back to us and discuss it and rule on it. So with that said, the first one we have on our agenda tonight is sorry, wrong page. On Caldwell Street, 1516, 1518 Caldwell Street, exterior modifications. Yes, oh, hello. Sorry, I was looking down.
So, do you have the report from the
We do.
Planning
Yeah,
Commission?
yes.
Okay.
Well,
'Cause I didn't bring anything with me.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't know I
have
was
this, and
supposed to.
this is what we've got, and it's
Okay.
all the write-up, the recommendations, everything is in there.
Okay.
And I can see it here, so if I'm staring below you, it's because I'm looking at the picture.
Emily, I'm the person that ate your cookies off of Dwayne Coleman's porch. Don't hold that against me.
Okay,
please.
so your name and address.
My name is Linda Rogers, Linda Olson Rogers,
Okay,
and I live at 3110 Sturmer Road in Conway,
okay. So,
right between Pippin Post and Wellington Place.
okay,
On
all right.
10 acres of woods.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So you are proposing some exterior modifications? You want to walk us, you're proposing some exterior modifications. You want to walk us through that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I propose to change the doors. I have looked at bungalow doors and decided on one similar to this. It's not exactly like this, but it's the same style.
Kind of keeping in style with that, sure.
Right. And the windows in the duplex are wood windows from 1927. And the windows I've chosen are Pella windows. Pella will do the installation. And these, I don't want you to be confused by this, because they do look exactly like the windows that are on there right now. They're 6 on 1.
Okay, what's the condition of the windows, the existing windows?
Well, some of the windows are experiencing dry rot. In fact, when I bought the duplex in 2000, I think 14, 13, something like that, when we were trying to raise the windows, the bottoms would just stick to the ledges and come off. So we fixed those. So the condition is pretty bad. They're covered by, I know you can see these up here. They're covered by really ugly aluminum and glass
Storm windows? Yes, ma'am.
And I know one of the things that the Planning Commission had against me changing the windows on the front was that the grids, the 6 grids on the top, were behind 2 panes of glass. You won't be able to tell a difference from the street, I promise you. They're already behind glass. So
Yeah, there's a difference when if they're next to you can tell, but go ahead. Go ahead.
well, the house sits back from the road. I don't think anyone would notice a difference in what's on there now. The storm windows are really ugly.
Well, yeah,
Anyway, so I would like to remove those as well as the windows. There are, I think there's 32 windows. One side is, the estimate was $17,000, and the other side of the duplex was $16,000 because there's a few less windows on one side.
To replace
than
the
on other.
windows?
I'm
To
sorry.
replace them?
Yes, to replace them. These are good windows. They're Pella windows, and Pella will do the installation. I have to pay $80 per window that is tested positive for lead paint because they have to dispose of them with all this stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to do that. The windows on the back are all aluminum because there were two add-ons to the duplex on each side on the back. So I guess just ask me questions. I don't know what else to tell you,
Well, let
except
me-
that I'm willing to spend the money on that.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I know one of the recommendations was for me to repair the wood windows on the front.
Mhm.
And I don't think that, this is a rental property. I don't think that's an option for me because it would cost about $12,000 more to do that if you can find a person who could do it.
Mhm.
And I think when they started taking those windows out, they're just going to splinter because of the dry rot.
Yeah. Well, let me go through and see if there's anybody else here to speak for or against it, then we'll talk
Yeah,
about
I
it.
want you to ask me
Okay.
questions.
Well, we
and
will.
If I
Well-
can answer
well,
them.
no, the first thing, is there anybody else here to speak in favor of the project? That's got to do the.
Oh, no,
you're-
my
well,
husband couldn't come.
Well, you're fine.
so-
I'm just asking to the crowd, and if there is no else, then we'll talk about it. Anybody to speak in opposition to the project? Okay, with that said, then it's closed. It's for us to figure
Okay.
things out. Has anybody, so you say you can't find anybody to look at repairing the windows?
I haven't tried to because
Oh.
I didn't get the recommendation until after I presented it
Yeah.
to the planning commission. But I did several years ago, and I couldn't find anybody that
Yeah,
could
well,
do
there's
it.
not many. There's not many. Part of one of my roles here, I mean, there's two architects on this commission, but it's worth a look at it. I mean, I have a couple of sources of people that could do that, but I would not want to rule on just checking them out without knowing their condition. I'm not doubting your word on it. I'm the one that broke, but I've found that most every condition is fixable in one way or another. And I don't mean spending thousands and thousands of dollars to do one little piece of wood. I mean
Right.
that it's not a. I've found very few lost causes. But then when they are, and I'm not going to. I'm not one to hold on to it no matter what and cry when one goes away that it couldn't be saved. But I don't know how we're going to rule. That's for everybody to talk about. But I would like to, again, like I said, part of my role on this is to advise, and I can't advise from here. I need to see them. So, that obviously can't be done between now and when we vote tonight. But that's something I would strongly, and I'm not. I mean, I guess an option is to table it if we if we give you an option, and I'm not speaking for everybody. They may tell me to be quiet in a minute, but if you tabled it for us to come back next month, I'd have some time to look at it, and we'd be on the same page with everything.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I will say that it's a safety hazard because none of the windows open.
I
on the
got you,
front.
and then that's not uncommon. That's one of the most common things. Having them painted shut solves one problem. You don't have any air coming through around it. They're weather stripped like crazy, but they can't function. So
Okay, the planning commission in his report, Mr. Walden's,
Yeah.
recommended that we can change the windows on the back of the duplex.
Okay, yeah, I
Can
remember seeing
I
that.
go ahead and proceed with that until we decide on the front?
That was one of my questions I had, James. I didn't know we could do that in the Robinson.
These aren't original windows, right? Is that what you said? The back
Some
windows.
of them are. Mhm.
Yeah.
My determination was that they weren't viewable from the right of way, so they weren't necessarily.
I'm sorry, I can't. Can I come just a little bit closer?
Yeah, the determination was that they weren't viewable from the right of way, and so as a result, they're not necessarily under the jurisdiction of the
Our-
ordinance.
One of the things that when we started the HP Robinson District was if you could see it from the street, meaning most any work. I know that was what triggered us to talk about it, was if you could see it, because that's what the seed of what got this going was. Everybody loves the the streets going down them, the trees and the houses and everything, and how they are. And that was our kind of our model was what we could see from this. That's James. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. But anyway, that is, I guess that's a discussion we need to have. But well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need to discuss. If we're gonna,
Emily, I was curious about that too, though,
Mhm.
because part of the report, it says, would it, replacing the front windows, the issue was, would it inhibit the building from being a contributing structure to the
Mhm.
district? So you're saying, James, that doesn't matter on the back side of the house?
But it's on the corner.
No.
no, it's not. It's not.
Is it not? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's
in
right.
middle,
It's
yeah.
one
Yeah.
down. Never mind.
Yeah, that was just something I wanted clarification on too.
Yeah,
but-
you can see,
It- I-
It's sold. Mhm.
Yeah, again, like I said, our rules have always been if you can see it from the street, and contributing is basically from the street is what we consider that. So that I don't, maybe splitting hairs. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Well, and that, yeah, I mean, our rules are that you can't replace original windows. That's, that's what in our guidelines. So starting there, that's why all options need to be exhausted to a point. I mean, again, I can do a visual on it and take a look and see, and I can have a better understanding of what we're dealing with on the front. And I have no problem doing that if you don't, if everybody else doesn't either. I mean, I'm fine for anybody else to join us too, but. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ms. Rogers, can you get behind the microphone?
Oh, yeah.
The
Yeah,
public can't hear.
Yeah.
I'm
We've got,
sorry, this is kind of threatening
No,
because
well,
I'm
that
only
should pull-
That
14.
should pull down. That
Yeah,
should-
there you go.
There you go. There you go.
Do we have a reference for her to, I mean, other than you coming out there and saying they look like they can be replaced, do we have any other craftsmen or people that can give her quotes to rebuild those original windows? Do we have those kind of resources available?
Yeah. I'll talk to her about it. I can, yeah, first is to see what the condition is. And
Okay.
Again, I've done that myself too, and I'm not afraid to say it's not salvageable. I mean, but
Right.
at the same time,
I would like to say this, that it is a rental property, and renters don't always treat rental properties
I know.
like we do our homes. And so what I can foresee with redoing the ropes and the windows and all of that, I can see problems. I'll have to come back every 2 or 3 years and have that
I mean,
redone.
I'm going to assume that there are other rental properties that have the windows that work, and I'm not going to argue that. I mean, that's your.
No, I don't
your
want to
problem.
argue with anybody.
Yeah, I know, and that's fine. I just that the use of the structure and it's for us, it's the structure, and that's why we're here. And
Right.
so that's I'm not diminishing that perspective on it from you, but at the same time, ours is the structure, and that contributing stays contributing if we can.
Right.
And that's the driving factor on this end. So if everybody else is agreeing with
Well,
that. I think
I
we have
do
a
want you to
two-parter.
know that I appreciate your willingness to serve on the board. I've served on several Conway
Yeah.
City boards myself.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your efforts and
Well,
everything.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the thing to do would be to break it into two pieces.
I'm going to make a motion.
Okay. She's
I
got it.
motion to partially approve the request and table the second half. So what I motion to approve this meeting is that no windows are going to be replaced on the front half, but we're going to approve replacement of the windows on the back half of the home, as well as the doors can go ahead and be replaced as well with a similar design. And then I added to the recommendations that were presented to you from James's staff, that Conway City staff and commission members are going to provide recommendations for professionals who can assess the windows. so we can discuss it next meeting.
So I can go ahead and order the windows that can be put in. Is
The-
that correct?
For the back of
For
the
the-
house, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
for the
Yes,
back
ma'am.
half.
Yep.
That's as.
I
per-
second that.
So here's my question on that. So this top left corner picture has a window that is near the front porch. You can clearly see it from the street. So it's not just
Which windows are we talking about? Is that what you're
right,
asking?
because I mean we had the resident from Center Street 2 months ago that was replacing a side window,
Mhm.
and it got stopped because she was trying to put vinyl in.
Well, I've been hearing the word back, the
Yeah,
back of the
and
house.
I just want to
so-
make sure you
just
understand.
need to
it's-
clarify what
it's
the back
literally
is.
just the back of the house. The sides don't need to be ordered yet. The side windows.
Can I say one thing?
Ma'am.
That's a bedroom window, and the 3 windows on the front are this bedroom. And none of them open. None of them. If there was a fire in the front part of that house, that person could not get out.
Well, and we understand that. I mean, that's
So
another part
I
of
would
the
ask
urgency
that
of
you
it.
include these 2 windows, please, because of the safety hazard.
You
I
can
will
throw a
not,
chair
I
through
will- I
it.
won't do these
Yeah, I
2
know.
on this side that are visible
Well,
from the street, but that really is not visible from the street.
I mean, it's been unopenable to this point too, and I'm not proposing it go for months painted shut either. We look at it pretty quick and determine something and go from there. I think because those, I don't know. I'll defer to.
I would ask you to
the rules
vote on
maker.
that if you would, please,
I
because
mean, the
this-
difficult issue is I'm so sorry, I'm trying to speak loudly. The difficult issue is when our commission, our mission is to look at these structures from a purely point of view from the street, right? And so
Right.
the functionality piece, while we definitely understand that that's important, we also have to think about the structure as a contributing factor to the historic district. So since it's in the
I
Robinson
understand.
district, it puts us in a difficult position because we have to balance those 2 pieces of you as a homeowner, obviously making it functional, making it work for your purpose, but then you also have to follow those rules and regulations because it is in the official historic
Right,
district.
and I am a historic person. I've served on the Historic Oak Grove Cemetery Board, still do things, volunteer work for them. I belong to the, like I told you, the Quapaw Quarter Association in Little Rock. I have lived here all my life, and I have loved this duplex all my life, and bought it because I loved the look of it. I'm not going to try to destroy any kind of integrity in this neighborhood.
But when you remove the original windows, you do detract from the home.
No, it won't. If I had gone ahead and just put them in, y'all wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, we would.
We definitely
yeah.
would have.
No, you would
Well,
not.
Well,
I
that's what
promise
happened.
you.
Well, but that's what happened a couple months ago. Is somebody was doing that and they got stopped, and they
Yeah.
had to come in here and they got denied. It was the exact same placement.
Well, I would ask you if you would please
think-
let me replace these 2. That's all I'm asking, not anything on the front. There is, you cannot see that from the street because of the stuff that grows around the house and all. So I would ask you, please, I will not replace those 2 right there until I examine and find out if but because of the danger, actually, my son lives in that side of the duplex, and I'm scared to death for him.
Well, at this point, then, I think we just need to table it, figure out what windows can be, so that there's not any question. Let him go out, or someone go out and check that. If she's not good with just the back, then,
I mean, we're still tabling it for another month at that point.
yeah.
And I hate that. I'm not gonna change my motion, unfortunately, just
I'm-
based on the guidelines, I can't.
No, we can't.
Well, could we have another motion, please?
Her motion is the only
know.
viable motion
Mhm.
to get you going forward with
Right.
some of them, and then allowing
And you will not
time.
have to resubmit for next month. So once we have another meeting at the end of next month, you'll be able to just come in, provide the information about the assessment that took place, and we'll be able to,
Okay, I
without
need the names
resubmitting.
of some people who can do these windows.
Yes, ma'am, that's a part of what we're gonna provide you, is
Okay.
that information on
All
who
right.
you can meet.
Is the amount of money it's gonna cost gonna come into gonna be
I
a
mean, you can
contributing?
certainly provide that information at the next meeting.
Well, I
and-
will.
And we'll take that into consideration, absolutely. I'm not sure if that will sway
I
the
mean,
decision
I'm already
either way.
spending $33,000 on windows. Of course, the front windows, the front 10 will not be removed, counting those two right there.
Right.
But I may just go ahead and do those. What's the fine for just doing them?
Let's not go there.
Oh, please, I really and truly want to know.
I don't know. That's an enforcement thing that I'm not sure about. But
I mean, it will eventually, like, that will be a part of, the city will have to step in at that point, and we'll have to stop
Okay.
all movement
Is
on
there an
upgrades to the
appeal
house.
process?
Absolutely, there is, yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
So who would I go to next?
yeah, James, I think that y'all.
The city
can make an official
council?
approval.
no.
Until final action is taken, so if, let's say that the Historic District Commission votes to table the request, so, well, part of the request, yes. So until final action is taken on the application, then it can't be appealed. If once, let's say, you come back next month and there's final action taken on that, then you can file a lawsuit and that would go to district court.
Well, I was told that I could appeal to the city council.
No,
Not the Historic District Commission. We're we're
it's,
we're here by the
the appeal
states.
procedure is defined in state law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What this motion will do is let the back, you can deal with the back windows, literally the back windows, and that's a good
The
chunk
ones
of
that are
them.
not visible from the street?
Yes, ma'am. The ones on the back. The
Okay.
ones on the back.
Very bad.
Yeah. And that's a good chunk of your windows, right? I mean, that's what, roughly half or?
No,
or-
the most of them are on the front.
Okay. Well, but it gets that order process started
Right.
for those back there. And I can probably come out sometime this week and start. Let's take a look, talk to you about it, just see what there is. I don't, again, I'm talking.
Would you
without-
especially look at those two windows
Yes,
right there?
I'll look at all of them. I'll look at all of them, and take a look and just see what we got, because I can't even predict until I see them. I really can't.
Okay, well, I need the name of people, some
I know.
people who
I'll
can do this.
I'll talk to y'all about that. That's fine. I can deal with that. You will be
Okay,
informed.
when will I get that? Because
Well, when I talk to you.
I just have a month.
I know.
Okay.
We're good. I'm not gonna, let's get this vote done on the motion that's on the floor, and I can get with you to get out there before the week's over and take a look at stuff, okay? And then we can know, what I can know what the next step can be or should be at that point. I just can't speak to it right now because it's, I'm not standing in front of the windows. So I'm trying to help. I want to help, but I think we can
appreciate
help.
it.
I think we can help. I think we can get there. But again, we're letting, if the vote goes, where the approval of the back windows are fine, you call tomorrow and place an order for those, and that surely will get you in the mix as far as the windows go, and you get going. So okay,
Thank
Is that
you.
right? We got
I
it.
do have one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
Pella also makes a window that is wood clad that
Uh-huh.
has the lights on the outside.
Mhm.
Would that be a viable option? And just like the other windows.
I know. The thing that what delineates the old and the new that we have a problem with are the modern, typically the modern windows with the divided light look. Those are just basically snap-on type
Well, they don't
things,
make
or-
divided lights anymore.
I know.
I've talked with
I know.
several.
Well, I mean, you can find some, but you can't. They're
Yeah, you
10
can't
times
afford
the cost. I
them.
know that's not the issue, but I know Pella makes some of these and others do too, where it looks good thick wood on both sides with actually a little spacer in between the glass that
Right.
looks like a solid piece. That I think we've accepted before, but the ones are just one side only. Forever look one side only, and it just looks like sometimes they're plastics. I mean,
Oh,
pellet
these
doesn't
are
do
not
plastic.
one side
I know.
only.
Okay, and that's fine. That's what you said earlier, and that's fine. But let's get this vote done,
Yeah,
and let me come look, and then we'll have a plan of attack.
Okay. Do you have my phone number?
I will
So
get
in
it
my
bef- I
email, so
can-
you can,
Yeah,
Yeah,
James has it.
We'll get in contact.
James has it. I'll touch base with you soon. I'll touch base with you tomorrow. I've got some time tomorrow. I can talk to you, and I may even have time
okay.
tomorrow.
Well, I can't say that I'm not disappointed.
Well,
mean,
and
I am.
I can't say I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it's just not just boom, but we have our guidelines that we've been going by for quite a few years now as far as the windows, and we either stick with them or we just throw them out the window, and that. Sorry, no pun intended, but
So, according to the report, you said the doors were in
yes,
your.
ma'am,
Okay.
absolutely.
the doors
okay.
are okay. And the doors are it's. I mean, those are obviously a safety thing, but also it's a little different. But doors aren't what we really address in our guidelines as far as that goes. But
Well, one of the doors on my son's side will not even lock from the inside.
right.
And they have, I can't remember if it's 9 lights, and the lights are 3, 3, and 3.
Mhm.
So all somebody has to do is break
Sure. Well,
that
no,
window
we
and
get-
unlock it from
No,
the
the
inside.
doors were not a major issue as far as
Okay.
this went. So with that said, we have a motion and a second
Mhm.
for the back windows
And the doors.
and the doors. Sorry,
I want to
sorry,
make
and
sure
the
that
doors.
that's good.
Do you want to add to that motion the tabling and of the other part in my
I added that.
participation?
That was in.
Yeah,
Okay,
I said
okay.
it.
I was.
And table the rest of it.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's all
And I
one
don't
thing.
have to file any more stuff.
No, ma'am.
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, okay.
We
I
agreed
had
to
to
table.
have my nephew do all that
Yeah,
for me. I
no,
couldn't
we've
do it.
agreed. Both sides were tabling it. It's just we're just extending this meeting till next time. Okay.
I also
Thank
wanted-
you.
I
I'm
also
so-
want to say thank you for your investment. I know that you said that you love this structure. I thank you for your investment.
Oh,
And I know that you said that you love the structure, and we really love the neighborhood and the area. And so the fact that you are willing to put your resources and your time and your energy into making to keeping the structure up, that really means a lot to us. And
yeah. I searched and searched for windows that were, even with the grid on the outside.
stuff.
Okay.
I got
right.
several estimates and just.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we have a motion and a second. Everybody good with what the motion said?
Mhm.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So I'll
Thank you
contact
for your consideration.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
Thank you for your
I'm
patience.
sorry you couldn't hear us either. These are,
Well,
it echoes really bad.
I'm old, so I don't
Well,
hear real well.
We've got to be right up here to talk so you
Yeah.
can hear. So,
Thank you.
yeah, but
Thank you
I'll
so
touch
much.
base with you. All right. Okay. Next one on our agenda is 511 Center door and window replacement. Been there, done that on that. Now, the differences in the two, first off, this is Old Conway, the design overlay district, where the other one was Robinson Historic District. So guidelines are a little different.
Correct, yes.
So
And-
with that
and
said,
Good
we are not,
evening.
we are not bound by the Secretary of Interior standards within Old Conway, so replacement of windows is
is a different animal.
just fine.
Okay. So,
I'm Dawn Jackson, and
I'm
Wh-
Brian Jackson.
with my husband Brian, we live at 515 Center Street, which happens to be next door to the property that's on the agenda, 511. Earlier this year, Brian and I formed an LLC, and with the expert help of a local realtor, acquired 511. Our LLC is actually the applicant. It's called a Center Street Life LLC. So 511 is a diamond in the rough. It was built in 1914, with a nod to the craftsman bungalow style. There are some hints that it actually could have been from a kit house.
such as Sears or one of the other manufacturers. I don't have proof of that, but so just a couple of unique things about her. She has approximately 90% of her original window frames and glass. And we're committed to preserving those and restoring them and maintaining them. All of them are painted shut, and many are missing their pulley ropes, but slowly but surely we'll be repairing those. It also turns out that one of my good friends, Sheila Mackenzie Nash, is the daughter of a former owner of both our house and 511. And she has shared just a wonderful oral history about the house that goes back to 1965. And we had a scrapbook session the other day, and I collected all kinds of photos back to 65. And then the other treasure is that we inherited abstracts and deeds that date back to the 1890s that cover both properties. So we want to thank Lauren and the planning department, planning and development, for their recommendations, and we're in agreement and want to move forward. So let's see, just make sure we're all on the same page. The south facade is what you see on the left. It's the side of the house where the white arbor, I guess, is. There actually are interior French doors in that space right now. And as you can imagine, they are rotting and leaking. And so for the south facade, we're planning a 36 by 36 fixed window. We'll go without the grills, I believe, is what number one. Matching the size and trim of one of the existing windows. So it is referencing the attic window that's up on that same wall. That's the south facade. On the rear facade, which is the photo on the right-hand side, there is a previous owner added like a big picture window that is falling apart. It's not original to the structure, and a door that is not original to the structure. And we're proposing a 1/1, no grills window, and a little bit of a wider door for the rear facade or the back of the house. Number 3 is about siding, and we plan to use, let's see, it says, reads a little bit differently than the copy I have. We plan to use existing or leftover materials.
Yeah, there's a slight variation between what's on the
Yeah,
screen. and what's
there's-
in the
Yeah.
recommendation.
And then number 4, our plan is for HVAC. There is no central heating and air in this little home, and so there are mini splits that exist, and we plan to add an additional mini split on the south facade And the recommendation is to screen that to limit the view from the street. And we will do that either with plant materials or with hardscape.
And the French doors that are currently there were also added by the owner previous to us that are, and they're painted shut. If they open, they would open to nowhere but a 2-foot drop. So there's no patio was going to or anything else like that.
So that's what we have.
Let me, real quick, I want to ask about anybody else to speak for or against it, and we'll then come back to us. Is there anybody else here to speak in favor of the project? Or anyone here to speak in opposition to it? With that said, Commission, we got some questions. Y'all have seen the recommendations, correct? You were referring to them, so y'all and everything, you're all good with that? Okay.
Okay, I have a question that is not really related to this. I'm just curious. Okay, your LLC, A Center Street Life, what is that and what are your plans for the house?
We bought the property as investment property, and once we get the plethora of repairs done, we'll be applying for a short-term rental license.
So will that be VRBO or homelet? Okay.
This was at one point a duplex, and it's been brought back as a house. Like it has 2 meters, 2 addresses, 2 everything.
Well, and I'm not to pick, but the use is not our real
Yeah,
concern. So
I'm just
I'm
curious.
just saying. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? I mean, the recommendations were pretty straightforward. They're agreeing to them is,
I mean, I
pretty
sold the
easy.
house, I have to abstain, but I mean, I can say that French doors was weird. It went out to nowhere.
And I'll say too, she asked me to come just take a look at ideas, what they were doing. I walked around it, and I still can't explain those French doors out the kitchen. It was amazing. But I guess it was their way of getting a big window. I don't know, because anyway, whether it's going away, so that's fine. But still, it's the things that they're wanting to do. I think will clean up some issues that have been there. So.
What was there before the French doors were added? Was it just solid wall?
From the historic photos, they were double windows
Yeah, it was
with grills
and it was
that
kitchen.
matched
It was
the front of
kitchen
the
originally,
house.
right? I mean,
They don't. This side of the house, the south side, all the grills are different. Every single window is different.
the pair of windows there in the middle are the 3/3, but the 3s are horizontal.
Never
And
seen that.
I've seen vertical, but I've never seen horizontal. So and I thought, well, maybe they oddly turned the windows, but the windows were built to go in the wind to work like they're in the window. Somebody, I don't know if it was a Friday and they were making windows and thought, let's just throw a weird one out there. But it's just, I've never seen 3/3 horizontal like that. I've seen a handful of windows in my time. That was an odd one.
Once you said that, I did some digging. The only reference I could find was in an arts and craft. It was in a Sears kit house, and it was arts. No.
Well,
Yes, arts and crafts.
Yeah.
Not craftsmen, but
Yeah, it's a little different. They were built that way. Best I could. I'm just still shaking my head at that. But with that, so you're
can't do
abstaining,
anything.
and I'm okay.
I motion to approve with recommendations as written.
I second.
We have motion second.
I have another question. So
Okay.
the 3/3 is going to be a 1/1 or a,
The new ones will be
is that what, okay.
yeah.
I was-
on the
wasn't
south side is a fixed.
It's just a
No
single
grill.
window.
Mhm.
Yeah, but a single pane, and then the window on the back will be the 1/1. Yeah. Yeah, not going to try to mimic what's there.
Are you planning on taking a little arbor down? That was shingling over the,
Yeah.
or is
it's
that
kind
part of the screening for the mini split? I don't know.
It's out of
It's-
proportion.
It's
for
there.
sure.
Yeah, it was there.
It's got a lot of rot in it as well.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Good deal. And James the COA, what do you, is this something you have tomorrow or the next day?
Yeah,
or so?
we'll have it in the next couple days.
They'll email to you that approval. Permits will know that it's
Because
been done.
then building permit. As I understand it, a building permit is required for those replacements.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and apply for building permits, and we'll get the COA processed, and so
They'll
they'll know.
in our office, they'll let permits know that it's been approved.
Great.
And y'all, and that clears you to get permit from there. So. all right.
Thank you all
Yeah,
so much.
Thank y'all.
you.
Thank y'all. All right. Next one up we have is another exterior modification on 320 Ash. Have somebody here to speak for it? Again, name and address, and we'll.
Zach Hendricks, 1233 Watkins Street.
Okay. And we've got the stuff, but tell us what you got, and we'll go from there.
Got an old house. I'm going to make it a little better.
Okay. Good
a
to
good
see you. Nice.
explanation.
Glad you came. As I saw, I think, was there a question, maybe James, they didn't have like materials on the exterior, things like that. Have you seen the recommendations, I guess, first thing?
Believe so.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
so how about, let's get the other business taken care of. Is anybody here to speak in favor of the project? Anybody else? Because he seems pretty positive about it. Anybody speak in opposition to the project? Okay, with that said, now details.
All right. So recommendations. What do you want me to?
You want to talk about number one first, so we can get that out
Sure.
of the way?
False shutters.
Okay, that James, I mean,
Love it.
okay. What, just tacking some shutters on is a little. Typically, we don't. Shutters that can't function are. We don't like that. That's not. It's just anyway. But this is kind of coming from the other side of it. There's nothing there, and it's just this kind of an ugly front
It's
there
an
with
ugly
nothing on it.
wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Got
just
it.
putting shutters up, I mean, we're talking, let's go to the nth degree and fake it. I'm not knocking James's suggestion, but one thought I had on that, and Liz, I think I mentioned something like this, but I'm not exactly what I said the other day. Not that we were talking about this out of context, but window trim like on a normal window, but like the shutters are closed. Not just shutters on the wall, but window trim that is the normal wide window trim, like the sill, the head, and
Sure.
the jam pieces, and then the shutter, something that obviously can't water can't get through, and that kind of thing. You seal it up, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
That to me, short of I know windows can't function there because you got a bathroom and whatever it's physically there. You're not going to remodel it that much, I guess, what I'm understanding. So to mitigate that, I think my thought was that was a suggestion. If anybody has anything to say about that, this is the first time it's been out there, but.
Could he do a false window? It looks like a window from the outside, but not on the inside.
There you can do them, and that honestly, I think that's going to degrade a lot quicker, a lot different than a window that doesn't. It's an odd one because you can do them, but they're just. I mean, do you cut a hole in it and put a fake window that's painted shut like our stork windows that, and paint the glass black and, go to all that, or do you have a window that has shutters forever closed on it that looks like they're forever closed on it?
You could put a window behind the glass. I mean, a mirror behind the glass.
Yeah, I guess something like that's going to call more attention to the fakeness than the closed shutters. I mean, somebody driving by is not going to know that there's not a window behind that. The shutters are closed. Is my thought. I don't mean just some plastic shutters stuck in the window opening thing. I'm something that looks like some shutters that would have been closed and would have been open in a storm kind of thing. So that was my thought on it.
Yeah, because the shutter issue has been an issue. No plastic shutters. They have to be functional wood shutters,
Mhm.
real shutters.
Mhm.
So that, we've discussed that forever. That has to be their shutters, right?
Right. Are you?
Yeah, because no
what's-
plastic.
Oh, right,
shutter.
right. No, I mean, to be, whatever the trim is around it, do that with that. I mean, make them quote real shutters, but that they're just closed and can't open. I mean, there's no reason for them to. There's not a window behind
Right.
there. That would and however you treat the siding behind it is how that's your call on getting protected and keeping things out of there. So that's my suggestion. I'm not saying that's not a thing you got to do, but that's just a suggestion for them to throw around. So that's number one. After that, I think after that, it's pretty basic stuff. I mean, you tell me
Yeah.
if there's a
Sure.
issue with
The
anything.
columns, no problem. Number 3, hardy siding. We're not replacing the siding, so
okay,
it won't be.
okay.
Fascia and soffits.
Uh,
What fascia and soffits?
That's if it's replaced.
Oh,
So
if it's replaced.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're leaving, if it's existing
Yeah,
to
we're just
remain,
leaving it. Yeah.
if it's existing to remain, that's not an issue. But if you do replace something,
Just
go
paint it.
by that. Yeah. So
Yeah, 101. Yep, no problem there. HVAC shall be screened or placed. Yeah, we can do that.
I have a question. When you say you're going to remove the screened-in porch, are you leaving the porch and just removing the screening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I thought that's
Yes.
what it was, but I just wanted to clarify. And then
Yeah.
also, I think there's a ramp out front.
It'll go away.
And do we need to talk about what will go there as far as steps or anything?
I think there's steps.
Are
under
there
it.
steps
I
underneath
believe so.
it?
If not, I'll.
Okay.
No, and the
I
screen
couldn't tell
doesn't-
from
I
the
don't s-
street.
It's just like a ramp. I don't see any
Yeah, I
steps
didn't
to
see
it.
any from
that's
the
a
street.
wood ramp, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
if it-
imagine they built it over some concrete
Probably
steps or something.
more than likely. I can't imagine them taking them out and then put,
Mhm.
you know. Yeah, I mean that's for you obviously to determine. But if there's steps there that are bunged up, you fix them back and you're good. Or the ramp stays. I mean the ramp it's first of existing, but if you don't need it, obviously take it away. So when you take the screen off the porch, you're still the columns. There's no columns there right now. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
where the column comment came from. Okay. All right. My impression is pretty much existing to remain, except for like the screening on the porch. I mean, you're not
With the porch.
well, I mean, just period, the house, period, on the outside. You're doing your bulk of your work's on the inside. Is that
Oh, yeah.
correct? Yeah. Yeah. Best of luck to you and yours on that. But
Yeah.
but
appreciate
so really the exterior is the porch, screening going away, columns added, and with the recommendation.
And closing in that one door. There's like a door that's on the side. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, that's on the
but-
side of the porch there. Yeah. Yeah. Because so that was it a duplex, or was it just another
Just a
door?
weird house.
Okay. Okay.
That's weird.
Okay.
Went into the bathroom.
It's just a second door done after.
Went into a
okay.
bathroom.
Well,
Yeah,
so
it went into a bathroom.
if you're closing that door in, it's going to be
Well,
siding,
maybe you
right?
didn't want to.
Yeah, so I was going to
go through the
reuse the
house, just go
siding,
sit on the porch.
so that
Side
back
door
of the
in the
house,
bathroom.
I've got some siding that we had left over
Okay.
whenever we bought it anyways. So I'll use that to
Okay.
fill in.
Okay.
You can patch with existing
Okay.
stuff.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Really, the shutter window thing and then the porch redo is what that's all we. If
That's
you're,
the bulk.
everything else is staying the same,
Yes, sir.
spruced up as it needs to be, but not
Correct.
okay. So does everybody get that? We're doing porch reworked and this shutter window frame thing.
What were you going to do with the driveway?
There's not one,
Okay.
so I'm going to have to build one.
Okay, but so you saw that recommendation then?
I did not see that. Where did that say? If the driveway's improved, a
Number
ribbon
7.
driveway or driveway no wider than, yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
the ribbon is, if you're doing a single loaded, especially the ribbon is,
Sure.
I mean, it's pretty common from history, but that's preferred. We don't get a big landing strip, going down, but
Currently,
Yeah.
the neighbor's driveway is actually like our property. So we're trying to,
and best of
figure
luck to
all
you and
that
yours
out.
on that one too.
Yeah, so not really sure what we're gonna do there.
Okay, but that's to be determined, but
But
as far
if we do it, we'll fit in those guidelines. You
Okay.
said 12 foot, that doesn't matter. I mean, if I do a circle drive or something like that, I own the duplex next to it, so I was thinking about getting the another curb cut and just doing like a little small circle drive right there. Maybe not. With your face, it sounds
maybe-
like probably
I mean,
not.
yeah, it kind of turns the two into one kind of complex.
No, not on.
Oh, you're not
not
combi-
onto that property. I'm
But
just
just-
saying, doing that.
It-
The reason I mentioned that is because I was thinking about doing the same thing or
Oh.
something similar
Yeah.
next to that.
Again, there are less than a handful that have been done, and before we were doing things. It's not something that we have as a rule, and it takes up the yard.
And
You know,
we do have a rule about how many people can park in the front yard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
rule about
yeah.
that, about how much parking can be in the
Okay.
actual front.
Yeah, let's go with the driveway with ribbon or whatever, how they say it.
Sure.
So
just-
I-
If you
we've
feel
not-
real
we've not
passionate
approved.
about that, you can just come back and
I-
we'll
I'm
debate
not
it
real
another
passionate.
time.
Okay. All right.
Not
Passionate
tonight.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. You have any more comments or questions? Anybody else? I'm not trying to do, it's just that I think, to me, our part are the recommendations, and a couple of them don't apply because you're not going there as far as new siding or, things like that, so.
On the shutters, you mentioned doing the frame. You're just talking about kind of making it look like it was a window.
Mhm.
Okay.
Basically,
and I can
yeah.
use for trim. I mean, it's metal siding,
Yeah,
so I can put metal aluminum cool around it. Or you want?
I
me to
hadn't thought that far.
That's kind of my, because if I keep the metal, which I was planning on,
Right.
then to make it match, I just use aluminum cool.
I mean, it's material, matching material, it would stand out more if we forced a.
Party.
Yeah, I think that should be something you have a choice on.
Okay.
I just, because going to details now, my suggestion was that, it needs to be, materials need to match.
Sure.
I can't imagine a big painted wood frame on the metal siding and then going, oh, it's always been there. So.
And when we talk about shutters, sorry, I'm talking about shutters and the false window thing. We're talking about making it all symmetrical, like making 3 of them. Is that kind of what we're talking about, or what are we talking about?
How big was
It's a 2 foot by 2 foot.
You have another window on the side of the house that's shown. It looks like a fairly small window, not the 2 by 2 that you were proposing on the front, right? So the 2 by 2 is supposed to be up here on the blank wall.
Mm-hmm.
Around the corner, thank you. Around the corner in the back, there's a smaller window back there. How big is that one? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't. It looks like a 2 by 3.
Honestly, if I'm just first blush looking at it, the windows on this, is this the south side to the right?
Yeah,
Right here.
south. Yeah, this is south.
Okay, you got the pair of windows together and then the single, the big
Mhm.
windows. For the elevation that we've got, that, you'd shown a 2 by 2 or whatever it is, something, to me, the bigger window, just the single window would be a little more proportional in there. And, if it's not a real window, so it kind of the size can be whatever. But I don't know if I make any sense.
I follow.
Okay, on this right here,
Yes.
that window right there,
Uh-huh.
if we did that size
Uh-huh.
on that front where we're talking about window trim and shutters,
Oh, okay.
okay?
And just
It's-
put this.
It's the
Put
front
shutters next to it?
It's the front of the house, and find me a front of the house that's original or not that has a little window like that on the front. I know it's a bathroom. That's what
Kinda
you.
odd.
No, but I mean it's a bathroom. That fits it's
Sure.
from the inside out. But if we're not required, we're saying okay, no window is okay, but let's do something that looks like a window. Let's make it a front of the house window as opposed to a little bathroom window.
You're right in front of a commode, but.
No, but we're not. It's not a window
Not a
though.
real
It's not
window.
a
But a
window.
window, it's your
you're
false
putting-
window.
this is
We're
the
just saying like the
shutters.
proportions of that
Okay.
window that you're gonna fake on that front
Yeah.
wall
If
needs to
this-
be proportionate to a front of the house window.
That's a new window, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a new window that we're saying, that's a tiny window. Let's do, instead of a window, unless you're just, what I was under the impression.
You're saying don't do a window.
Don't do a window.
Got
Do
it.
This window trim that's either gonna be
The
this size or
28,
that size.
2850.
Could it match the single window that's on the front already?
This one?
Yeah.
Well, that's.
Oh, it's like the same
I was just
size.
Okay,
using-
yeah. So are they,
These
they
two-
are the
Yeah,
same?
they're the same. Those are
Okay.
two examples, double window or single
Okay.
window. But it can match that window too and be right there. Just, we're talking shutters that fit in there and trim, no window. Because that's what the whole premise was, that we're pretending it's a window. And to do that, as opposed to just
Design
his
element.
suggestion, it all started with him suggesting something.
Famous
And
idea.
not good or bad, right or wrong, just
Right.
suggesting, putting some shutters up there to
Something.
pretend. But if we're gonna do that, I was going down that path of, if we do that, let's do window trim. It looks like a window, it looks like the shutters are closed on a window. But on the front of a house, a 2 by 2 window is pretty,
It's
I mean, that's
proportionate.
rare, yeah.
Yeah.
So proportionate, to me, the single window's fine, the single width. If you wanna go nuts,
Yeah,
the
sure.
double one's fine. But to me, the single one with the size of that front, that's gonna be proportionally okay.
Sure.
I think. Right? Okay. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. First time I had to stand up and point, and but still, if that works, because it's it's not a big. If you had a window there, you're going to have blinds or something on the inside all the time because it's a bathroom window, and the toilet being there, wouldn't it be a low window? It's just, it makes it look less like something was scabbed on the front and stuck a window on there to get some light in, and it's a toilet in the front of the house. We're basically trying to smooth out the roughness of that, but
It'd be cheaper to
I
put
think
window.
it should be cheaper, but I think it'll be an attractive version of what we're talking about, so.
We can do that. So just make the same size window that's on the front porch.
Yep.
Excuse me. Frame it out, trim it out.
Yep.
Put some shutters on it. They look
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
Call it a day.
Yep. We good with that?
Can I make a motion?
Go ahead. Yeah, please.
To approve the recommendations as stated, with the exception of number 1, to specify that the proportions of the faux window should mimic the existing front window. Accurate?
Yeah,
Does that seem right?
That's good.
Shelby's motions are. Is that got it?
Yes,
You
that's
agree?
that's what I basically wrote. Yes.
You heard what she said?
A
Basically,
second.
What we said.
Basically what we said, but she just
Yeah,
said it better.
but she said it clearer.
Yeah.
We do it for the thing.
And quicker, too.
Yeah.
I didn't have to stand up either. So, okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. And everybody here understands it? Mr. Hendricks understands it?
Sir.
With that said, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
y'all.
you.
COA.
Just give me revised drawings with kind of showing what you're intending to do, and
Got
then
it.
we'll be good to go.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, sir.
Hey, y'all.
All right, the next one we have up is 814 Chestnut, exterior modification, if I have somebody here to speak for it. Hello, name and address.
Joanna Napholtz, 1335 Brookfield. So this is a property that is falling in on itself right now.
Okay.
The roof is, there's holes in it. The structure is barely holding on. The brick is kind of.
The gable looks open.
Free air,
It's
lots of
vent.
ventilation.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So we are looking at actually taking down the white brick infill, leaving all the brick detailing with the yellow brick, and then adding storefront where the white brick, and then putting an awning back in front to make a new storefront. And then we'll patch the brick on the side and actually put a waterproofing coating on it so water doesn't come into the building, because it's a 3 brick wall. So we'll patch with original brick and then seal it up, and hopefully one day put a mural on it. It's the dream. And then the backside, we are cutting down the square footage of the building. There's quite a bit of rework for that underground drainage pipe in the back that we're trying to get ready for. And so we've cut it down and then try to add a little courtyard in the back for the tenant.
I saw, it looked like, I don't know if this was one or the other one. It looked like there used to be a mural there.
It's an old sign. It looks like an old sign, yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But it's just faded enough. We can't tell what it was.
It's
Yeah.
just barely bits of it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me see if anybody else wants to speak, then we'll get into you. 'Cause if you-
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
I think it's
Oh,
good.
yes.
Anybody else here to speak in favor of the project? Or anybody here to speak in opposition to the project? With that said, let's pepper her with questions, not you, but.
Well, yeah, so if I have to
Well,
recuse myself. Can I
Yeah,
comment
yeah,
and
if
speak
you're
for or
abstaining and
against
you're
or
part of, just part of go ahead if you want to talk.
Oh,
Oh, no,
which
I'm,
way?
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
hopefully
I
in
can speak, you're
favor.
just saying I can't vote. Correct.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're helping her present is what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you did great.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
With that, do we have anybody have any questions? I mean,
I motion to approve.
I mean, well, you've seen the recommendations. It was basically the glass has to be transparent. Everything else is
Oh, yeah.
just right down the line of
Yeah,
what
for sure.
we need. I mean, that's,
Motion to approve with recommendation. Excuse
there
me.
you go.
A second.
So a motion and a second. We have we'll have one recusal, which,
And then Liz.
okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That was easy.
Awesome.
You
But-
just stay right up there.
Yeah.
I'll hang out with you. for
Okay,
a
yeah,
little
so the
while
next
longer.
one we've got is 800 Chestnut, just a short little
Yep.
jaunt down the street.
Right next door, yes.
And go for it. This, again, for the record, name and address, just for each project.
Yep, Joanna Appholtz, 1335 Brookfield, and I'm representing H&N, and the owners and restaurant owners are in the back here. We are looking at updating the building. It's quite uniform in material on the exterior right now. It's got that old kind of rock set in some cement, highly stylized.
Yeah, just
I don't know what
chunky-
style.
chunky
but
stucco.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we're proposing to kind of break all that up with some brick pilaster veneer, replace all the storefront, and kind of paint the back wall again, just to seal everything up on the backside. We are looking at a couple different options. The ideal scenario is the kind of awning doors that would raise up in the front. We're finding out they're quite expensive.
Those are hanger doors. I mean,
Yeah.
those-
Yes.
yeah.
So we're looking at kind of multiple different options. One may be a traditional full glaze garage door,
Right.
or it could just be a fixed storefront.
But
I'll say, I've seen the alternatives that got them this afternoon.
Yeah, sorry.
All of them conform to the
right.
district requirements.
Okay. And I mean, the main thing is they're going to function the same way, open up when you can, or
Right,
or
yeah.
whatever, and glass. So yeah, that's fine. Have you seen? I assume you've seen the recommendations. There's
Yes,
more than one on this one, but nothing major.
As far as the glazing and tinting, the ABC is requiring us to tint the glass so that you can't see.
So you can hide the
inside it.
consumption of alcohol.
Yes.
Okay.
So that one we will have to. follow
Okay,
the,
that's fine.
um,
Again, you
rules.
there are codes bigger than us, and that's fine.
Right,
That's not a
gotcha.
problem.
But
So
yeah.
we're good. No problem.
Yeah, we were aware. I was hoping it wasn't the requirement, but it
Okay,
is.
that's fine.
That may change.
Yeah. Anything, I mean, any other recommendations jump out at anything to discuss? I mean, it looks, again, it looks,
Yeah, we've kind of tried to put in a few, if we do, the budget does come in lower, we might add some more detailing on the outside, but at this point, can't commit to it.
yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Haven't asked a question. Anybody else here to speak in favor of the project? Anybody want to speak, or we can just wave at you again? Somebody stood up.
While he walks up here, I'm gonna have to abstain from this one as well.
That's two of you.
Yeah, because I that's what I whispered to James, because I'm a
Still
quote
five,
unquote
but still
investor.
quorum.
Okay. Well, if there's a tie, I get to vote, but we'll see about that.
Chris Smith,
Steve was gonna
1511
realize
Prince
how to do-
Street.
Okay. What street?
Prince.
Oh, Prince. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cool.
Go ahead.
We're just very happy. Joanna and H&N have done some great work for us. We're very excited about the prospect. John Abholt's building owner is very excited. We're just hoping to do something right for Conway.
Good deal. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for for investing, like, Liza said, investing in what we got in that building it's been needing some TLC for a long time. Just, it's, so
We're
thank
glad
y'all,
to do our
thank y'all
part.
for that. And then what's coming too. So
Yeah.
it's all good. All right. Well, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else here to speak in favor of the project? Anybody in opposition to the project, or just really curious about the project? Okay, so with that, questions and comments from other design professionals involved in the project? Again, to me, the recommendations are pretty, cut and dried on with what you're doing. They go, I mean, you had no problems with them. I think the building has been needing some help for a while. It looks like it's getting some good help, so we're good with that.
I think it'll make that corner, it'll give it a nice facelift.
Oh, well, it will. I agree.
I'm gonna motion to approve, but we did say recommendation 3, that the windows have to be tinted, so we have to strike that, right?
It says unless required by
Oh,
separate
okay,
regulations.
oh,
it's
okay,
covered,
okay. I
it's
just didn't know
covered,
if we needed
Yeah,
to
no,
remove it
no, it's
completely or
covered.
not,
Yeah,
okay.
we're good.
I just wanted to
leaves it
double
open. If ABC changed tomorrow
Okay.
and went, not gonna, don't worry about it, they can do that.
That makes sense, that's why I
Yeah.
didn't say that.
Yeah,
I just was
which they
confused.
won't. Yeah.
You never know.
All right, so I have a motion for approval as recommended. But not looking at you. Anybody?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Unless there's a tie, I'm gonna sit here, but all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? My streak is still going. I haven't voted
Wait,
in
who
like
seconded?
7
I
years.
missed- I
That
updated.
was,
Is it
Marie.
Marie?
That's
Okay, Marie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank y'all. Thank you, guys. Good luck with it. Okay. That's cute. Any other business? I have a question. It's an old business, but we've not, I don't know the address, the Zateo and the fence that's out of compliance. It's still there. Is
We're
it?
continuing to work on that
Okay.
compliance
It's,
issue.
it's in progress. I drove by the other day. I hadn't thought about it in a while. Okay, just curious. Anybody else?
I have one more question on Mr. Rogers in the beginning. She was talking about Pella windows, wood windows, all that stuff. Can she put Pella wood windows in, or does it have to be original?
I think it's been, if they're beyond
They're beyond repair. It's fine.
repair,
Yeah.
then it's got to be in like kind.
Yeah.
Wood windows.
I mean,
So
I feel
the-
for it because I had it quoted as like
Oh, I know,
$60,000.
I know.
for my
I'm not,
house, if more.
I'm not, it's bad. It can be bad, but I still, when they look at it, and I can report
Well,
back.
and that's the thing I don't think she understands is you have that knowledge that most of us don't. So
I'm not-
I think it'll be. I'm glad
I'll-
you're meeting with her.
We'll have a
Well,
good
and I was
meeting.
wondering if they could use some of the windows from the back, if those windows could be, if something is crumbling.
Well, that's
or-
always possible. That's
Oh,
always
that's a
possible.
great
Yeah.
idea.
That's always possible. No, it is. That's something I look at too, because I've,
Yeah.
I've
Just throwing it out.
you
I didn't
take
wanna-
one
hope she
out.
doesn't
Yeah,
also-
no, that's
Can
something
we
I.
send her a note to maybe?
We'll-
look
we'll-
at that?
I'm-
Yeah.
but
She's
we'll
not
have
gonna-
communication.
Well,
The
yeah. I was just
Secretary of
gonna
the
send Steve-
Interior.
Well, I was just
Yeah.
worried, like, if she orders them and
Yeah,
they
that's
come
true.
Well-
in quickly before Steve's able to.
Well, she
connect
said
with
they're
her.
they're
4
4
months out.
months
Come in
out.
quickly.
Yeah, it's gonna be 4 months before she has them in her
Yeah.
hands.
Okay. I
If
didn't
she
hear her
orders
say
them
that.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the main thing about with that, everything, all of our guidelines fall back to the Secretary of the Interior standards. Foremost is retaining original features and repairing. If repair is not possible, then replacement starts to begin to be a discussion. So
And
it's
it's gotta be in the same, in like kind, same material and all that, if you have to go that far.
And
Yeah.
could you not talk to? I didn't want to. I mean, I know we're still alive, but could you also not talk to her about possibly cutting some of those open for safety? Like how they're
Yeah,
painted shut. I mean,
yeah, I
that's
know.
an easy fix.
I know, that's about a 6-minute fix.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, that's
Okay.
why I'll get with her this week
Yeah.
so that if she's fearful of
Yeah.
the danger that we can take care of that. I'm gonna talk to her.
All right.
I
Thank
will.
you.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Anybody else?
A motion to adjourn.
I second.
I think we need to vote on that, do we? Just go.
We always
We can
do.
vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I don't think
Any
we've ever
opposed?
voted on that.
I know, any opposed?
Oh, really?
What-
I just always